What if we played the country music in the background while I did a little plug here for the Home and Garden Show, April 16th and 17th. I'm telling you, this is a wonderful community event right here in Santa Clarita. It's April 16th and 17th, goes all day, and everything, arts and crafts. We all like arts and crafts. It's fascinating to see how many creative people we have here in the Santa Clarita Valley. And then you've got the Emergency Expo, and you're going to have all the things that are associated with things that go on that sometimes we don't care about, emergencies in our life. We're going to have the police department there and fire engines and a lot of cool things. It's called the Home and Garden Show. Free admission. Free admission. Take the family. It's a family event, and it's at Central Park. It's called the Home and Garden, April 16th and 17th. Our show brought to you by Lisa's Tax Service. When you meet her, you will love her. She is smart. She's a certified tax preparer, and she's just one of the nicest people. You'll feel so comfortable with her. Her phone number is 661-904-2351. She's just as gentle as a baby lamb, but she's smart. Certified tax preparer, Lisa's Tax Service, 661-904-2351. Also, a show brought to you by Southern Smoke. And I thought today I would, if you're just tuning in, I'm Coach Tunick, Coach Ron Tunick. Go to CoachTunick.com. And over the last several months, I've gotten a number of people say, why don't you do more coaching? Why don't you talk a little bit about what you do in life? And what I do in life is coach businesses. I coach businesses who go to trade shows. I specialize in trade shows. People ask me, what do you do? I specialize in people that have trade shows because there's a lot of money, a lot of energy, a lot of time when you're going to spend $20, $30, $40, $50,000 to go to a trade show and you haven't done the right preparation, you haven't put in the right process of thinking. So that's what I do. I help people think. Okay, so thinking is the hardest thing we do. And most people avoid it because they don't know how to think. And I said earlier that find a quiet place in your home, your office, learn how to lower your pulse rate, and be patient. It may take you 10, 15, 20 minutes. And what I want you to do is ultimately be responsible for yourself. And if you can learn to make better decisions, you'll get winning results. Those winning results lead to a higher self-confidence, and now your self-esteem issues get better and stronger and healthier. Just before we went to the break, one of the things I talk about in the book is pacing, slowing down, really going at a speed in which that you can function at a high level, going at a speed in which people will like you, people will get to know you, people will trust you. If you talk too fast, act too fast, go too fast, it doesn't create trust with people. And trust is so important today in building relationship. Go at a speed where you can build trust. Okay, I mentioned that timing. Wow, did it take me years to understand timing? Golly, I wish I would have met me 30 years ago, 35 years ago. I wish I would have had a boss that would have sat down and had a discussion with me about timing. I wish there was a mentor in my life at that time. There was not. I wish there was a coach like me that would take me under their wings and say, Coach, not only do you have to slow down, hey man, you got to understand timing, how timing works. Timing is everything in life. It's everything in life. And, you know, I've been married a long time, and you wonder why marriages don't work. They don't work for a lot of reasons. Look, they don't work just because timing's bad. But let me tell you what, it's so easy to start an argument, a foolish, stupid argument over poor timing. Because we don't know what your friend or your partner or your wife or your spouse or your kids or anybody in your life, we don't know what they're really thinking about. We don't know what their deep thoughts are. We don't know what their issues are. And especially if you're going too fast and you haven't paid attention, like most of us don't do. We really don't pay attention. Most of us live on the surface. So in a relationship, that doesn't really work. In a relationship, you've got to be authentic, really authentic. You've got to have enough trust in the other person to be able to open up. You've got to be able to have enough trust to trust, well, especially if you're married and you don't have 100% trust in your better half. You know what? Maybe you shouldn't be married. Maybe that was the wrong decision. I'm trying to help you make better decisions. Better decisions lead to winning results. Winning results leads to higher self-confidence, and now you're going to have a healthier self-esteem. So timing in a marriage is everything. There's a time and place for everything. I learned that when my wife walks in the room and wants to talk to me, I lower the TV, or sometimes I turn it off. Man, oh man, that cost me thousands of dollars to learn that lesson, and I'm giving it to you for free. We all want to be heard. We all want to be recognized. We all want to feel like somebody is paying attention to us, that what I say matters. So if my wife years ago was talking to me and I had football or ESPN or politics in the background, and I had one eye on her and one eye on the TV, that doesn't work. And, just because she came in, her timing might be wrong too. It goes both ways. I mean, think about it. Both my wife, my beautiful wife, Elle, and I have learned timing. Our marriage is better today. We're happier today than we were 30 years ago because both of us have understood and learned timing. She and I are so authentic with each other that she knows that there's a right time and place to bring something up. And same with me. And timing has allowed our marriage to get healthier and healthier and healthier and healthier. It's allowed me to communicate with my kids healthier and healthier, with my friends healthier and healthier. Because we're all busy, and a lot of us who are real busy have an agenda, right? So I'm not number one on everybody's agenda. As much as I think I want to be number one, and as much as my narcissistic ways sometimes get in the way and I think I'm the most important person, no. Sometimes I'm the least important person and I'm not even on their agenda. So how do you work this timing thing? Well, you ask questions. Like, is this a good time to have this discussion? Are you comfortable? I mean, your vocabulary, when I'm coaching businesses and individuals, probably one of the things that gets us into trouble more than anything else is our speech. The words that we choose just don't work. Picking the right words at the right time, I'm telling you, oh my goodness. Picking the right words at the right time just goes a long ways. Having such respect for somebody else's issues or their timing. You'll ask somebody, well, how you doing today? And they'll say, fine. They're not really doing fine. That's what we tell everybody. The old Greek saying, well, don't tell them where your goat's tied. Well, a lot of us don't tell anybody where our goat's tied. Sometimes that's good. Sometimes it doesn't work. Sometimes we hide from the realities of life. But if you have friends and family that are caring and loving, it's okay to have a serious discussion. I'm struggling today. Can I share with you what I'm struggling with? And like I say, ask questions. Ask questions. They'll tell you. If people are honest with you, they'll tell you. So timing is everything. If you get this down in your life, I'm telling you what, things are just going to get better and better for you. All right. So in my book, The Thinking Room, holding it up again, our show is all videoed. You go to YouTube next week and watch it. Also, podcast tonight after about 6 o'clock. If you like some of what I said or all of it, or you want to send it to somebody else, or you want them to listen, go to Hometown Station, go to podcast, and you can listen to my podcast. So one of the things that I try to do with all my clients is help them understand that if they think better, if they think for themselves, if they do their discovery, do their research, and as I said earlier, I'm no scholar, but you can learn to do scholarly acts. Then you become a better problem solver. And you know what? At the end of the day, That's what it's all about. If you can learn to solve your own problems and help other people solve their problems, you'll be somebody that's sought after. But you have to learn to solve your problems first. A lot of times our biggest problem is we can't pay our bills. A lot of the time our biggest problem is we don't like where we live. We don't like our financial situation. I'm not saving enough money. Finance, unfortunately, and financial problems are like the number one cause for divorce. And being broke in this country, oh my goodness, it's not fun. Being broke in this country, not having any money, it is not fun. So if you're listening to my voice and you're struggling financially, it's on you. It's on you. You can't blame anybody else. You've got to stop. You got to be honest with yourself and what's not working. So maybe what's not working, because you're having a difficult time solving problems, is you're not thinking properly. You're maybe not thinking at all. You're just reacting to everything, and you're mad and you're angry. But you can turn your life around. I promise you. People ask me all the time. I do workshops. In fact, I'm speaking to the Santa Clarita Chamber on, let me think, next Wednesday. What's that date, Justin? Next Wednesday. I think it's the 14th, something like that. 13th. Yeah, 13th. 8 in the morning at TPC, the country club there, TPC. And some of the things that I'm sharing with you, I'm going to share with the audience. The audience wants to hear how to solve problems. That's what business people want to do. They want to learn how to solve problems. Every business has challenges and struggles and problems. They just come up. We got tax problems. We got people problems. We got technology problems. We got management problems. We got timing problems. We got financial problems. We got problems. And so in solving problems, and let's say if your number one problem is financial, it's on you. Here's the sad truth about life. Is anybody listening to us? No, nobody's listening. Okay, here's the sad truth. Nobody cares. That's the sad truth. Nobody cares. Nobody really cares about your problems. Your family might care. Oh, coach, we're sorry. And they move on. Or your friend Betsy says, oh, we're sorry. And they move on. Most of us really don't care for losers. We don't. And if you're struggling financially, the perception is you might be a loser. That's not the truth. That is not the truth. Winning financially doesn't make you a winner in life. Having a lot of money doesn't mean you're successful in life. Having money just means you're keeping score at a level in which you can accomplish to buy things. Money won't make you happy, but let me tell you what, money, if you don't have enough of it, it'll make you sad. Make you really sad. And you're not going to live in the better neighborhoods, the safer neighborhoods, necessarily. So if you're struggling financially, it's on you. Where do you start? Okay, you can say, well, I need more education. Well, how can you argue that? I'm not going to argue that education is important. What's really important is knowledge. What's really important is that you know something. This is what I tell business owners all the time. You're too much of a generalist. Become an expert in something. Really, really, really get good at something. And people will pay you. If we have to have brain surgery, we're going to go find the smartest brain surgeon that we can find. We're going to find the guy that's been there before, that's done thousands of brain surgeries, that's had successful outcomes. But he's smart. We want that smart doctor, that smart CPA, that smart attorney. We want somebody that we know knows what they're doing. They have an expertise, that great mechanic. You take your car, you're always asking friends, do you know somebody that can fix my car? I want somebody that really is good at what they do. We want somebody that's really good at what they do no matter what they do. So finding your purpose in life, as I said in the first segment, finding an expertise no matter what it is. No matter what it is. You could be the greatest quilt maker, and I'm going to buy your quilts. I want to buy quilts. I want to buy something that I know was put together by a craftsperson. That's another cheap plug for the Home and Garden Show. April 16th and 17th, put it on your calendar. Arts and crafts and so much more. There's going to be all kinds of stuff there. Cars are going to be there. Henry Mayo Hospital and their people are going to be there. A lot of stuff. You've been there before, the Home and Garden Show, April 16th and 17th. Justin likes it. It's at Central Park, plenty of parking. So back to solving problems. So if your number one problem is financial, then stop and say, okay, what do I need to do to become an expert in something? And study, research, background. What's the competition? Is there any competition locally? Is there any competition in the field? What does the competition look like? I truly believe in my heart, listeners, that all of you, every single one of you listening to my voice has greatness inside of you. I really believe that. I really believe that finding that greatness isn't easy either. But you have to find a purpose in life. You're here for a reason. And if you're an adult listening to the show, you've got to take responsibility. Today could be literally the first day of the rest of your life if you're willing to take responsibility. And you can learn to become a great problem solver. You know, with technology today, you can do anything a scholar can do. You just have to be more subjective and read and ask questions and call people up and find ways to do your research. We're going to come back, take a quick little break, and I'll end the Thinking Room session with a little bit of a story and a little bit of an idea for you to take forward. And it's called Date Your Decisions. Date Your Decisions. We'll be right back on the show we call The Business Life, KHTS AM 1220, one of the great radio stations in Southern California. You can listen on hometownstation.com. Well, if you missed any of it, I've been talking about coaching today. I've been talking about my book, The Thinking Room, very popular book. You can get on Amazon or buy it from me. Amazon's like $25 for me. It's only $20. CoachTunick.com. And if you really want to get a hold of me, you can call me on, you can call me at the station, and they'll get a hold of me. You can call me at the station. You always call at 298-5487, 298-5487. They know how to get a hold of me. They'll give you my number. So in the early part, the first segment, I talked about find a quiet place, learn how to think. Thinking is the hardest thing we do. But if you can learn how to think, you'll change your life, because you'll be responsible for your decisions. And if your decisions are winning ones, you're going to improve your self-confidence. And, we like to do business with self-confidence people that we believe in. Then I talked about timing. I talked about pacing. I said, slow down. Go at a pace where people can get to know you and like you and trust you. And then I said, timing is everything. Timing is everything in life. Now let me talk about dating your decisions, because we have big decisions in life. We have little decisions in life. And typically when I do workshops, I talk about what I call reference points. All of us make all of our decisions based on our reference points. Everything that's ever happened to us is stored in the reptilian part of our brain. Everything that's ever, even 1 year old, I don't remember 1 or 2 or 3. I might remember 4 or 5. I remember nursery school. I don't remember very much. But all of the things that have happened to you in your life, I call them reference points. You make your decisions based on your own reference points. In my book, I go into detail that each reference point, especially the big ones like family, job, hobby, career, friendships, I call them files. You have filing cabinets. You may have dozens and dozens of filing cabinets. And in those filing cabinets, you have files. And if those files are damaged files and you're still going back and making your decisions based on those damaged files, you're going to have a damaged life. It's that simple. So think about it. Everything that's happened to you in a category, family, work, career, hobby, sports, winning, losing, marriage, girlfriends, smoking, drinking, everything that happens in life gets registered in a file. You have an eating file. You have a lifestyle file. You have a family file, a marriage file, a friendship file. And if some of these files are damaged, and it's not hard to get some damage in a file, and you're making your decisions based on your own reference points from the damaged files, as I said, you're going to have a damaged life. Those decisions aren't going to work. So you have big decisions, little decisions. So one of the chapters, chapter 9 of my book, I call Date Your Decisions. How do you know when you're making the right choice? How do you know when to quit doing something that's not working? How do you know which path to take when it comes to making important life decisions? They're based on your reference points. They're based on your experience bank. All of your experience are in this bank. And if those experiences have been tarnished, if those experiences haven't been the best, they can lead to self-esteem issues. They can lead to not wanting to make decisions. They can lead to shying away from making difficult decisions. So I say stop and let's look at, well, first of all, you can teach yourself how to think and slow down and pace yourself and know and be in the moment, live in the moment, and know that this is a big decision. Marriage is a big decision. Buying a car is a big decision. Buying a home is a big decision. Developing a new relationship is a big decision. All of these require an investment, some financial, some emotional, some physical, some personal. One of the great things that was shared with me by one of my first bosses that I've practiced my entire life. I haven't always got it right, but he said, wait 3 days and do nothing, especially when you're emotional, especially when you're having an emotional time. Don't make decisions, big decisions, under stress, under emotional circumstances. Do not make those big decisions. Wait 3 days, and a lot of times they clear up. A lot of times they get better. A lot of times, and sometimes they actually go away. Wait 3 days and do nothing. One of the best advice I ever got about not making decisions when it's not the right time. Remember I said timing is everything? So you can rank your decision making, and then you can date decision. How important is that decision? Is it a 1? Is it a 5? So if the scale is a 10, like getting married would be a 10. Having kids would be a 10. Buying a house would be a 10. Buying a car would be a 10. So you're going to rank those decisions as a 10. Going to dinner tonight is not a 10. Maybe if you're trying to lose weight like I am, maybe it's an 8 or 9. It's probably right up there. If you don't need to lose weight and you're going to have fun and you want to have fun, maybe it's a 5 or 6 or 7. Rank your decisions. Not every decision is important. Not every decision needs to be made today. So if you learn how to rank your decisions, like maybe you want to start a new career. That's a big decision. That's going to require some effort, some thought process, go into the thinking room. That's going to require you do your research. That's going to require that you do some discovery. The grass is not greener. You know that. The grass is not greener on the other side. So if you're going to start a new career, you want to do your homework. That's a big decision. And you want to date that decision. And what does that mean, date your decisions? That means go at a pace that you're comfortable with. All right, I hope you enjoyed the show called The Business Life. I touched on my book called The Thinking Room. I'm so honored that you would listen. Don't forget, Home and Garden Show, April 16th and 17th. April 16th and 17th at Central Park. It's a family affair. I'll see you down the road. I'm the coach, Coach Ron Tunick.